Hello, this is Lee. You're listening to Faith Business Media, and today you're going to get introduced to Susan Abar at the Copper Coin in Branson, Missouri.
At the Copper Coin, we give a special little gift to every veteran and every active, every past serviceman, guardsman, or reservist that's made here in Branson, Missouri. It's a little key ring with a penny on it, and beneath it is a representation of the American flag. Well, that little key ring is given to the men and women to thank them for their service. When my son came home from his last tour of duty, he'd lost several friends, and not only that, he came home struggling because of all he had faced. And for the first time, I realized that my son was no longer the son that I knew, but he was a man who had experienced war. And I realized that I knew nothing about war, nothing about what these men and women had gone through. And I wanted to say thank you for their service. But when I first started to make them, I had an ulterior motive, and that was to make money off of these key rings. I thought, oh, Branson's a place that loves their veterans, and surely there will be some veterans or wives of veterans or children who would love to buy a key ring with a flag on it for their family member. But the first person who walked in my store was a Marine who had the words POW on the top of his cap and Vietnam. There's no way I was going to give that to anyone, and I know that was orchestrated now by God. Because as I turned around, I just had made them that morning, as I turned around to show him what I had made that he could purchase, I looked at those words, POW, and I peeled off the price tag. And I said, sir, I want to give this to you and thank you for your service. And that man teared up, and his eyes got red. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to cry. And these are the words he said to me. He looked down at that key ring and he said, no one's ever given me anything. They spat on us when we came home. And all I could do was apologize and say, I'm honored that you're in this store, and I want to thank you for your service. I've never seen the man again, but from that moment on was the last day I ever put a price tag on a key ring. Those men served our country. They deserve much more than they got when they came home. And from time to time, one will say, well, can I pay you for this? Or how much is it? And I'm looking at him, I said, you paid the price a long time ago. And every time I say those words, I think of what Christ did on the cross. He paid the price a long time ago, that we would all have his grace and his mercy and know his salvation. And this story is about that. But we don't always say it that way. We say it in many different ways. Sometimes we pull people aside and tell them, or we love on them or pray with them. But our whole goal is to bless people and to give them encouragement and let them know that God is still alive and he is well. And our country is not truly following the ways that I grew up in, but I'm not going to veer from it. I'm going to stand for the words that I believe are strong. In God we trust. I'm going to stand for these men, and I will stand for the flag, and I will speak that openly, but I will kneel before God. And I know that not everyone's treated fairly all the time, but I do know that those men who died in wars before and now, I am going to honor. And those men who are still living, who walk through the hell and the nightmare of war, I will honor them. And for those who did not see war, I will still honor them, that they stood for this country and they served for this country, and I will honor them.
I so appreciate Susan taking the time to do an interview with us. To everyone, thanks for listening. Until next time, peace be with you.